If one day you unexpectedly time travel back to the Eastern Front of World War I, like a pawn on the chessboard, what would you do to survive? The first way is to hide amidst the bullets. After some research, you discover that the Eastern Front is incredibly chaotic, with armies constantly on the move. So, you decide to disguise yourself as a civilian in the villages behind the front line. You choose a remote rural area in the eastern part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire to hide. At first, your life is quite peaceful. You grow vegetables, catch fish, and learn the local language to communicate with the villagers. You worry little about the war, as the Germans and Austro-Hungarians are doing well on the front lines. But soon, you realize that the battlefield is becoming increasingly brutal, with dwindling troop and food supplies. The war encroaches upon your village. One fine day, your village is raided by German soldiers. Your crops are stolen, and many people are forcibly conscripted. You wisely hide at the edge of the forest and luckily escape. However, you know you cannot continue like this forever, so you and some besties go deeper into the forest to hide. Suddenly, you encounter a group of Russian soldiers lying in ambush. As mentioned, Russians shoot first, ask later. They kill some of the people with you. You quickly hide behind a big tree, but still get wounded in the thigh. The gunfire subsides, but more Russian soldiers arrive. In a dire situation, you are forced to raise the white flag. You stand up. Dressed in civilian clothes, the Russians seem more open, but still wary of spies. They ask you many tense questions in Russian, then in Polish. Fortunately, you had learned some Polish beforehand, so you use all your wits to convince them that you are a Polish civilian fleeing the war. Eye to eye, beads of nervous sweat must be restrained. You and the Russian commander stare at each other. One wrong answer, and you will die. Finally, with your tattered appearance, resolute spirit, and of course, no weapons, you are released by the Russians. After that incident, you hide meticulously in the forest like a ghost. You know that everything will end in 1918, and that day is approaching. But reality is always harsh. The winter of 1916, with its freezing -20 degrees, no food, no warm clothes, under the intense battlefield, you are about to die in the nameless forest. But no, just like in the confrontation with the Russian soldiers, your survival instinct awakens. You skillfully move between villages, gathering essential supplies. Disguised as a civilian, anxious because a single soldier passing by could mean death. Because of being brave, you finally survive until 1918, and when the Russians retreat, you succeed.